We need to open our eyes, try shining, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work up with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. They'll do it.
They'll do it. According to Kolu. I don't know how many of you who paid attention to what Akpabiole was reading. It was just too long for him. He just wanted to get to the conclusion part, right? To tell everybody how much money they need to approve now. Isn't it like, I wanted to say, isn't it ironical? I'm like, no, isn't it fraudulent that this guy is appearing on your TV every now and then to tell you how much Tinubu's reform has improved revenue generation to the point that even their projected revenue for 2025, they've met that at the end of August. That whatever they are making right now is just extra, which is good. Extra in the sense that, bro, right, we plan to raise 1 trillion naira. Or can you believe that we have actually raised about 4 trillion naira? That's like times 4 of what we expected. We've met our budget, we've surpassed it. They kept saying that. But on the other hand, they are borrowing like there is actually no tomorrow. The conditions of the loans are not disclosed. The duration of the payment are not disclosed. But they continue to tell everyone that, he has reduced the payment, what Nigeria is paying for debt. He has reduced it to 60%. And they want you to believe that. But there they are. And they're going to come back again and again and again. Because that same Akpabiole's Senate approved nearly $23 billion for Tinubu to borrow this year and next year. So then you ask yourself, where is the subsidy money? They say, oh, subsidy money is the reason why the state and the local government are getting more money now. Go and ask your governors. Okay, that means federal government is getting money too, because the federal government takes 51 or 52% of the whole money anyway, before they give the rest to them, to the others. So would you not be interested in what the federal government is doing with its own share too? Same way you would like to know what the states are doing with theirs, which is nothing. Tinubu is borrowing money and using the future generations' supposed commonwealth as collateral for today's loans that are not really investing, that will be productive for the generations to come. No, the generations to come will be born into poverty with these guys. So isn't that fraudulent? We are making more money here. And ordinarily that should reduce your borrowing. But it is not. So who is lying? And that is why all these numbers they are dishing out. All this number of inflation is coming down. Prices is coming. All this stuff. The confusion and all that. It's fraudulent. By the time everybody's going to open their eyes and realize what they have done, there's likely almost nothing left. There will be nothing left, by the way, for anybody to even want to hold in this contraption when these guys are done. I bet that's why this man believes that Tinubu, allowing Tinubu waiting till 2027 to get rid of Tinubu itself is a crime against humanity. Not to talk of Tinubu spending another 4 years and all that. That's the way he feels, so this guy.
The performance of this government, as it affects me, an ordinary Nigerian, and you, and many others, the president pledged to hold this country together. But this country has become more divided than ever before, whereby now the campaign war cry is Buhari had done 8 years, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be given opportunity to do another 8 years.
Are you making reference to what Bayo Onanuga said?
Yes, I'm making reference to what Bayo said, what Babangida Aliyu said, and what many others have said. If Buhari's government was a failure, this government of Bola Tinubu in 2 years is a disastrous catastrophe.
You mean it has overshadowed the 8 years?
Of course it has shadowed. It has failed in all ramifications. The country has regressed. These are personal opinions. They do not represent the regional sentiment. They do not represent the Nigerian evaluation of the government of Bola Tinubu within the last 2 years. The fear is that this government has shown incapacity to change the trajectory of its governance in the country as of today. And if it is allowed to go for the next 2 years, I'm sure the country will be bleeding in all spheres of life. The economy is bad, national cohesion is bad, ethnocentrism has been uplifted to the highest level, corruption has more than tripled, failure of government in security is ravaging the country, and it is very, very surprising that even people of repute who have spoken that this government should be allowed not only to conclude its 2 years, but for another 8 years in their own states. There are local governments in their own states that are now under the absolute control of bandits. And it beats my imagination that people who directly have been affected will come on national television and say that it is only fair. Look, in 2003, all the governments in the Southwest endorsed President Olusegun Obasanjo.
This was 4 years after the return of democracy.
Yes. Tinubu led the vanguard to reject that. Obasanjo was a southerner like him. Obasanjo was from the Southwest like him. If what he did in 2003 to President Obasanjo was acceptable, what we are doing now should also be acceptable. And everybody will tell you that between the period 1999-2003, the administration of President Obasanjo had earned the trust of Nigerians.
Maybe because you are part of that government.
Well, everybody felt it. Everybody felt it. Everybody felt it. You know, the government impacted on its primary responsibility of providing protection to the lives and properties of Nigerians nationwide. The government was able to turn around the economy that was collapsing under the military administration. The divisiveness in the country, the polarity of the country then, because it was north-south, military, civilian, was overcome. But here are we, 25 years later. We are in a terrible mess where endorsements, contrived endorsements, is the order of the day, not performance of government. As of today, minimally, in the South, there are 10 ministers of key ministries, all from the Southwest. There are 3 ministers from the South-South. There are 2 ministers from the Southeast. Why is the balance, even in the South? Why is the balance? To justify the
That's Tinubu's Emilio Kan, by the way. And whatever it is that everybody is facing right now, directly or indirectly, everybody played their own role. Either whether you didn't push hard enough or you just didn't push at all or whatever. But here we are. So the coalition they are forming, right? They met, I think it was yesterday. They did meet yesterday. And their spokesperson, Bolaji Abdullahi, coming out of that meeting, right, at what I call the partly resolution or something, talking about their intention for the 15th time on how they intend to save you, rescue you from the iron grip of APC, Egbekegbe. They call it coalition.
And we thank you for your patience all day. Yeah, we know. So it's part of the work, you know. So we just want to say that we've just ended our first NWC meeting. One of the key conclusions of the meeting is the approval of 4 main committees. One of them is the Constitutional Review Committee to review the constitution of the party. The second one is the Policy and Manifesto Review Committee. The third one is the Membership Registration and Revalidation Committee. And the fourth one is the Party Rebranding Committee. So those are the 4 committees that the NWC has approved. The NWC also approved the dates for the Ekiti and Osun election primaries. The Ekiti primaries will take place between October 10 to November 20, I think, to November 20. And the Osun primaries between November and December. So during those periods, the primaries will take place. Those are the key decisions of the NWC for today's meeting. Is there a third one? Let me see. I'm trying to. Yeah. So the third decision I was taking is, as you know, many of the states, NWC, most of the states have perhaps only the state chairman in place. Now the NWC approved the transition operational guidelines that will run the affairs of the party in the various states ahead of the congresses that are coming up. So those are the key decisions that we're taking. So if you have any question or clarification, we'll be happy to answer. All right, thank you very much.
They are gearing up, you know, for some of these contests just ahead of the 2027. An update from Omoyele Sowore, by the way, which simply means that this week or next week could actually be a big thing in Nigeria for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So according to Omoyele Showore's current update, is that he's reached out to Alex Soti, he's reached out to Soludumb, and he's also reached out to Atiku Abubakar. He's reached out to Peter Obi, and what he got back is that for Alex Soti, he didn't pick his call, and he's yet to return his messages, right? For Peter Obi, you know, people closer to him told Sowore that he is currently traveling, so they can't really get a hold of him, but they will pass his message across. To that of Atiku, it's similar as well. So which means that Sowore is pretty much doing more than just the talk. He's walking the talk. So his intention, he also added, he said the Abia State House of Assembly, who kind of like declared yesterday that they would be staging a kind of like the whole of them as protests to Abuja, but they haven't really picked a time, but they have already said that they will be participating. So now generally this mobilization for collective demand for the release of Nnamdi Kanu will be one of the biggest things that's going to happen next week, or maybe sooner than that. I just thought I should let you know. So who knows? Maybe Nnamdi Kanu will be the one to put together all of these guys, even Sowore, in their midst, and this may actually be the kickoff of the whole thing that will change the whole story of the entire things that we've ever seen since this APC unleashed this terror system of governance on Nigeria. I just thought you should know, right? In Ilorin, Irete. Hey, is it called Irete? Okay, I'll find out now. There is this problem, by the way, of the pass. It won't be the first time. It won't be the second time. So a traditionalist was being sort of like assaulted on our own property by some Islamic acclaimed or alleged Islamic clerics, Afars, who are not really comfortable with a way of traditional worship and all that they had to come to her to try to come and correct what they would. I mean, they are not comfortable with this, with that, and that, and that. And that led to these exchanges. You probably have seen the video. I've seen it for the past few days, like 2-3 days. But I was trying to kind of get to understand the context. What was it all about? Now that I do know, I'm sharing with you now.
Ànábì tẹ̀mí ṣe pé fún yẹn tí ó jẹ́ bàbá ti ní ni.
Lè jẹ́ bàbá mi, àwọn àrò ìjàdá ìsìn yín, àdáṣẹ́ sí mi.
Ìjàlẹ̀ wá bá àwọn ọmọbìnrin jà pé kó má tàbí kọjá. Bàbá tèmi tẹni kó má gbé máa kí ìkọjá bí àìbàjá ní.
Ẹ gbé gidi náà, ẹ ṣe gbé gidi náà.
Bàbá tèmi ní. Tẹni kó má gbé máa kí ìkọjá bí yìí. Afẹ́ máa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ o. Ẹ̀mú tíra jáde máa yọ ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ o, wàhálà máa ṣẹlẹ̀ o.
Ibi láti ẹ̀mú gbà.
Ibi tó máa gbà o. Àwọn tó máa gbà rẹ̀ o. Àwọn ọmọ wa sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ̀wá ní kò sí kò tó ń jẹ́ ṣọ̀pọ̀ mọ́.
Yínká, àbá sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kò sáà làwọn sọ pé kò sí kan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ojú wa bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe.
Wọ́n fẹ́ na Yínká gan, mọ́mí yìí ló fẹ́ na ẹni yìí ló fẹ́ na Yínká ẹni.
Ó lè nà ó ti do nímọ̀lẹ̀ tó bá nà ṣọ̀pọ̀ náà wọlé tọ̀ ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ.
Bàbá ti fẹ́ kí kò sílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀, bàbá ti fẹ́ kí nínú níbẹ̀, ìgbé ìbò kí pọ̀, eléwì ló wá dé níbẹ̀.
Ó yà ẹgbẹ́ wọ́n ti yà nínú.
A ti sọ tó bá ti fi igi tó lọ́nà àwọn bàbá á gbé kúrò.
Ọmọ bàjú ayé. Ìmọ̀lé.
Wẹ́ẹ̀ tí bàbá ti máa fẹ́ kọjá níjà ní tó máa kọjá kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀. Ẹ bá sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ sẹ́ẹ̀. Mo ní ìlú bàbá wa lélẹ̀ ibi tó bá wù láyé tó bá dé.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ẹ sọ pé ọ̀nà àjọ bí kan
Ẹ má sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́. Ẹ lọ máa pàṣẹ òfin yẹn nílọrin. Ẹ má wọ pálírè. Ìlú ẹlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ la wà yìí. Ẹ má wọ pàṣẹ yẹn bí yìí.
Ìran kò wá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ máa pàṣẹ fọ́mọ onílẹ̀.
Ẹ má sọ fọ́mọ onílẹ̀ pé kí wọ́n máa ṣì kọjá ń bí. Irú Mùsùlùmí wọn gan ni yín tí gbogbo kan máa ń lé mọ́ yín lára.
Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
Misunderstanding of, we know you are traditionalists, but we don't like you passing here. Go and pass another path. Don't come around our area. So what do you mean? You are a tenant here, by the way. Like, why would you come here and begin to kind of tell us how we are going to like work and all that, you know? Because we don't like it, but we don't like all this fetish thing. They are ram, by the way, according to this guy. So they are kind of like holding their ground. No, but you know, in this Niger, now everybody gets within the warrior. Okay, so if it is not the criminal leaders who are doing what they know how to do best, okay, which is manipulated the people, robbed them, and still expect them to sing their praises.